So, as we're sitting here watching, it seems to be the theme of the night is all these young drivers. So Joey Logano, right? Okay, May 24th, he's going to turn 21 years old. So there's Joey. He's 20 right now. A year or two ago, my daughters, Brooke, Brandy, and Brittany, they're up in the mall, Concord Mills Mall, and they're like, Dad, Joey Logano, the famous NASCAR driver, he's up at the mall, and he's hanging out with Corey LaJoie and Brandon Reynolds, just like a normal kid. I had to stop my kids, and I said, girls, he's 18 years old. And they looked at me, and I said, yeah, he's just that young. I mean, look at this kid. He's got a little peach fuzz hanging on there. He's starting to shave up a little bit.
What are you, the fashion police? Come on, give him a break.
Oh, he's hey, great race car driver, and what a phenomenon. I mean, kid's doing it.
I get happier watching him because I've seen him. The only time I ever seen him without a smile was the Harvick and him incident at Pocono, I think it was. And otherwise, he's just always got a smile. I talked to him today, and I just like that. He's just happy. He knows he's got an excellent opportunity here, and he's making the most of it, but he's still having fun doing this.
He's living the dream.
And what's great is you say at Pocono, that was the only time you never seen him smile, but he came up with the greatest quote of the year about Delana Harvick.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
she wears the fire suit in the family.
Yeah, and then they made
they made T-shirts.
They made T-shirts and sold them, and that money got donated too. So that's a good case.
And we go to Bob.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big weekend on speed. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Nationwide Series race on speed. This guy right here, Aric Almirola, will be in that race. 7th in points in the Nationwide Series, just 7 points back from the leader. That's pretty impressive, but he comes here and runs a late model, and you qualified 21st. What happened there?
Well, it's not easy. I tell you, it's tough to come against and race against these guys that race late models every Saturday night. And our TaxSlayer.com Chevy's decent. We were 21st in practice, and we've just been struggling really tight the whole time we've been here. So these guys, Keith Pyle brought a really cool car. It's a really nice car. We just haven't had the speed we were looking for, but I'm having fun, and it's for charity. So all in all, we're having a good time.
Well, back in the day in the late model ranks there with Joe Gibbs Racing, that's where you got the nickname, the Cuban Missile. I mean, you were the hot shot at some racetracks here, so what can we expect from you tonight?
I don't know. I'm going to worry about staying out of trouble at the beginning. I think with this choose rule for the double file restarts, and I think it's going to be pretty wild. I think you're going to see a lot of fiberglass and rivets and sparks and a lot of stuff flying. So I'm excited about our car tonight. I think we'll have a good run, and there was a day in time that I did win quite a few late model races, but we'll just have to see. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, sparks flying. We'll be excited tonight, but how about tomorrow night as well with the NASCAR Nationwide Series race and being on speed?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be really cool to have the Nationwide race on speed. And, yeah, I'm excited about that too. We've been working really hard. Pops and all the guys over at Junior Motorsports been working hard at just trying to make our cars a little bit better to get to that next step. We've been really consistent. We've run really well, and we just want to be consistently a little bit better. And I've been working hard and trying to figure out what we need to do just to take that next step from being a top 10 car to a top 5 car and racing for wins, and we'll get it.
Aric Almirola will line up 21st in the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown late model race a little later on tonight, Dick.
And speaking of Denny Hamlin, here's Denny Hamlin. I want to know what happened in qualifying. All these local drivers did so incredibly well. You are the top Sprint Cup driver, starting 10th. What's going on? Is an underdog going to win this thing tonight?
I've been telling everybody that those guys are tough, and it's not as easy as everyone thinks. And you see, we're spread out through the whole field. So in just 75 laps, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I'm just glad that all the fans have stuck around, and this means a lot to me for these competitors and all to come out here and try to put on a good event. And I think you're going to see one heck of a show.
How do you persuade the Cup drivers to participate in a thing like this? I mean, this is supposed to be an off night for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, these guys are taking a night away from home, from their families and whatnot. And so for me, it means a lot. And, hopefully I'll be able to repay the favor down the road. But it's just, I think that they love short track racing. This is what it's all about. This is where the roots of it are. And this is where it all started for these guys back when they were trying to get their careers kick-started. So for me, I think that's a lot of it. Anytime you get us outside of our Cup cars, we like to size each other up. So it's a little bit of competitive nature as well.
Your feeling about this racetrack is well known. This is your #1 favorite. You've enjoyed enormous success here. How bad do you want to win tonight?
Really bad. Trust me. It's it's going to be tough. I mean, it's the times are so close, and these cars, the way it's going to be, we don't know how hard or easy it's going to be to pass. We have no idea. But I want to win it, obviously, but I just want a good show. That's the one thing that's the most important thing is we got a good race, and these fans deserve a good race, and hopefully we do that. But one thing that we didn't broadcast is that, since we've had the tornado disasters over these last couple days, we're going to take 10% of the proceeds that come in today, and we're going to, take it to Alabama for those victims.
How do you pick the charities, and how important is this race for your charity, the Denny Hamlin Foundation, that mostly benefits kids? How big a deal is tonight?
Well, through FedEx and doing a lot of charitable programs with them, I've gotten to go to St. Jude hospitals, children's hospitals all over the country. So for me, once I got to see that firsthand, that's when we started the foundation, because I knew it was our obligation at that point to help. We have the means to make it happen. We have the means to get all these people together and pool our money to take to these children's hospitals. And last year we were able to build a wing right here in the Richmond Children's Hospital. So we're making a difference. And so for me, I had to see it firsthand to realize how important to the community it is.
You couldn't miss the passion in that conversation. Thank you. Thank you for putting this on tonight. We're looking forward to the K&N race. The motors have started, and then we're going to look forward to your race as well.
That's good. Looking forward to it.
There is a great movie called Pay It Forward, and
Yes.
I really like what Denny Hamlin is doing. He's paying it forward, and here's why. These are the type of cars that he grew up and got noticed with, the cars that will be running in the Denny Hamlin charity race. It was Dale Earnhardt Jr. that said Denny Hamlin is the most underrated driver, some say 8 years ago. So I really like what Denny is doing. Here he is. He's trying to pay it forward, and it was somebody like Dale Earnhardt Jr. that gave a shout out and called the press and the media and said, look, this is the most underrated driver. It's Denny Hamlin. Now Denny is a NASCAR superstar, and what he's saying tonight is there are plenty more like me right here at the Denny Hamlin charity race.
We're at Kenny Wallace and I are sitting down in the turn at Tony Stewart's charity race at Eldora Speedway. It's coming up again June 8th of this year. But we're standing there watching qualifying, and Denny Hamlin, who has run, I don't know how much dirt, very little, goes smoking down through 3 and 4, flat out, about 1.5 feet off the fence, qualifies 3rd or 4th or something. And Kenny turns to me and said, hey, I just figured out why these guys are so hard to beat. They're really good.
And you know what? Sometimes we are too hard as you see the cars. Hey, this is exciting. They're coming on the track.
That's right.
But, sometimes we say to ourselves, we're so competitive. Oh, the reason Denny Hamlin's running good because he's in a Gibbs car. And it was that night, you're right, Kenny Schrader, when I seen him running 140 mile an hour at Eldora, running high, wide, and handsome, scraping the wall, it dawned on me. They don't luck in to these good Cup rides. They are good. And Denny Hamlin is a very talented race car driver in anything he gets in. So this is a great night.
Well, there's a tremendous amount of talent and hopefully some future stars that are just getting ready to go back into this race here.
Absolutely. The K&N Pro Series-EAST has been quite a springboard for driver talent. The most recent champion of the series is Ryan Truex, Martin Truex Jr.'s younger brother, and he's now up and running nationwide for Michael Waltrip Racing and on his way. So this is just, I would say, a middle rung of the ladder, because from here it's up to Camping World Truck Series or Nationwide Series, and hopefully eventually to the Sprint Cup Series.
A lot of people say, why are those cars pulling off to the side? As you see a water bottle on the racetrack, somebody threw it out of the race car. But what happens is these drivers just got in the race car, and we index our wheels, meaning we want the wheel to be in a certain spot. And there's Andrew Ranger in the 35 car, and he pulled to the side of the track because he wasn't happy with the way his steering wheel was put on. So hopefully that answers a little trivia out there. They're re-putting their steering wheel on.
Well, I reset mine a couple weeks ago. We were getting ready to start the race. I don't know where it was, Texas or someplace. And they said, you've been in the car all weekend. do you not know where it goes by now? You know, so I mean, I didn't put my little line there yet this weekend. You know,
That's it. You're listening to Ken Schrader and Kenny Wallace explain the ABCs of racing to you as we get ready for a restart. After a red flag period in the K&N Pro Series East race, 29 laps complete at the time of the red flag. That's 63. Up at the front of the field is John Salemi from New Hampshire. He's at the tail end of the lead lap. So Max Gresham, number 18, is your leader. Darrell Wallace Jr., the number 6. Andrew Ranger, the 35. There's Wallace in the U.S. Army, number 6. The Waste Management car is Ranger. He's the third place car. That black number 16 is Alex Bowman. These front 7 running just about where they start, exactly where they started, that is. There's Bowman, and the reason Salemi's at the front of the field is because of the caution flag. He's the free pass car. So here is Bowman. And Michael Waltrip, development driver, Brett Moffitt. 1st through 7th running right where they started. And in 6th.
Brett Moffitt had a tremendous season last year.
That'll be
in this series.
The Faisona lap car. And there is Chase Elliott. He is a development driver for Rick Hendrick with his dad up on the spotter's perch. And they'll both be in the Denny Hamlin race later on this evening.
Bill's puts a lot of time and effort into Chase's racing, you know, and especially going up and down the top of the tower all day to be a spotter, you know, and try to help him through here. And he was very committed to being a spotter right up until it started raining. That's when he decided he'd come be with us.
Be a commentator for a little while. Yeah.
We had so much fun with Bill Elliott. I said, Bill, I know it's got to cost you a lot of money to help Chase out in his career. I said, am I better off having 3 girls? He said, yes. So it's quite an undertaking to make sure your son gets what he deserves. And Bill Elliott is doing it right. I mean, he's giving Chase.
Wait a minute. Your 3 daughters, are they all at home?
No, one is in St. Louis. She's went to college.
Are they all single?
Yes. Well, they got boyfriends.
But wait till you find out what weddings cost.
Oh Lord,
Race cars going to look cheap.
Mike, it's cheaper. I'm telling you, Kenny's a lot better off with 3 girls with big weddings than one young boy, one young son that wants to race. It's going to be cheaper.
So Benny Gordon in 7th there, the 66, the 4. That is Sergio Pena in 8th place. The 2 of Ryan Gifford, the 15 of Matt DiBenedetto, the top 10. And there will be, when we restart, 33 of the 38 starters on the lead lap.
There's a theory in this series that some people want their children to have the best of everything so they know what a good feeling race car is. Then there's another theory that fathers say, we don't want our kid to have the best of everything because we want them to know how hard it is. So there is that very fine line, Kenny Schrader. What would you do with your kid? Would you give him the best of everything so he knows what it takes to win, or do you want him to suffer a little bit?
Well, I don't know if I'd give. Fortunately, my son Sheldon doesn't want to race. I'm not sure I'd give him the best of everything, but I'd give him every dang thing I could afford to give him. You know, because you're just like in racing, in motorsports, no matter what division, what track, equipment is such a big part that you know, even when you get the best stuff, you don't always have it adjusted right on every day, so it winds up not driving like you want. Now this series, you know, when we talk about this series, that you make that jump to the next rung of the ladder, you said, Mike, it's not like the drivers in this series just decide, hey Dad, I want to race, and all of a sudden they bring them into this series. They've already been racing. They've won races at other places. They've got a lot of laps. They have a lot of experience. This is your first step up to the bigger cars. But most everyone in here has a lot of experience at other places already.